Okay, here we go. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the stream. Okay, so we have an interesting stream here today. We're going to be talking about the Minecraft 1.19.1 chat reporting. So this is a bit of a controversial update to Minecraft. So I want to just cover some of those things. And is my camera focusing? Oh no. I just want to cover some of those topics in the stream, hopefully present both sides of the argument, because some people are for it, think it's a good idea, some people are against it, and some people have other interesting opinions on it that I kind of just want to go over. I think this is an important topic because it revolves around Minecraft, it revolves around SouthHollow, and I know a lot of you are interested in that, and what we're going to do about it, and I guess hopefully my thoughts you're interested in. So that's exactly what we're going to be talking about today. The chat is over there. It'll be on screen for the entire time. See Butterpal in the chat. I'm going to report Semi, honestly saying. But seriously though, welcome to the chat, everybody. I really appreciate everyone coming out today. So first person in the chat here, before we kind of get started, I just want to read out some chats. We have, Semi here. Pre-stream prediction, Martin works at Mojang and actually made this change. Kidding. Wordux, welcome to the stream. And Wordux's second account, SouthHollow Newsman. I don't know why you called your account that. That's really strange. You got Roan in the chat here. Got Zigify in the chat. Butterpal in the chat. So this is really great. So to begin with, I want to just go into Minecraft 1.19. So I'm going to launch that, and we're just going to look at how it looks in game first. I think it's important to do that just so we know what this actually looks like. So I'm not going to load it with Fabric. I'm going to load the actual release 1.19. Stream might lag for a second while the game loads. It's going to take up like 1,000,000,000% of my CPU. So give it a moment here. So let's see. Okay, here we go. Game is open. So let's go into a single player. Actually, no, it's not single player. It's multiplayer. Does anyone have a multiplayer server? I can hop on to check this out. I guess it might work. It's just SouthHollow. Okay, no, we haven't updated it yet. Let's see. Is there any servers? Does anyone know of one? Let's see. I actually think I might know of one. But I need to search this IP up. Let's see here. So main thing right now is just to kind of show off how it looks in game. Although some servers it's going to be difficult. Actually, here's something I can do. I should have prepared this. I'm sorry. What I was mainly doing when I was preparing was making sure the audio worked, because with my streams the audio is never wanting to like be decent. So let's see. So I'm going to grab actually a jar, 1.19 jar from Purpur. Actually, not from Purpur. Vanilla Minecraft, 1.19.1 vanilla Minecraft jar. Let's switch this up really quickly. And we're going to download it, we're going to run it, and then we're going to basically see how that looks. Here we go, Minecraft server jar. You can see here I'm on the Minecraft page here. We're downloading the jar. So I'm going to hopefully get that launched, and then we're just going to see how it looks in game. So I'll make a little server here, temp server. We're going to throw the server.jar in there. I'm going to grab or make a start file really quickly, and then we're basically just going to see how it looks in game. It shouldn't be too crazy. So bin bash, Java, I'll give it 2 gigs. Okay, hopefully that's gonna work just fine for us here. And I will close that. Okay. Welcome to the chat, everybody. Atomicos, this is it's a nerd. Yes, indeed. Let's see here. Open in terminal and then sh start.sh. Oh, what is all that? This is like the normal default server. So let's just go true, and then hopefully it's going to launch this. I think it's going to do the default port 25565. And again, the goal here is just to look and see how this looks in game. So add server, local host 25565. Old. Atomicos is a nerd, don't be like him. That's unfair. He's chilling. Okay, server's loading up here, let's see. But honestly, though, this is hopefully gonna be a serious discussion, like about chat reporting, so just so we know, I know there's probably gonna be memes and stuff going on. That's good, all fine. But let's just hopefully keep this more on topic. Okay, here we go. This is a server. Hello. And this is 1.19.1, so I'm not seeing any reporting. How do you do this? Play reporting, let's see. Rex 3000. I'm clicking on my name. Oh, I can't do that, obviously. Okay, let's launch another Minecraft instance here. And then let's have that account join, and then we'll see. So that's the perk of having two Minecraft accounts. But also it's potentially going to murderize my PC here, because I don't think it's going to like having a Minecraft server open, two Minecraft accounts, live streaming, although I've done it before, so it should be fine. That's why you need 32 gigs of RAM. Very, very important. Yeah, so let's see. So logging in here. I have this other account, it's MCB, so it's MCB and RexTex are in the game. I'm gonna have RexTex say hello. And then you are a nerd. Okay, here we go. So play reporting. Here we go. So I can say hide messages from its MCB. Interesting. And then I can report him. Okay, so I'm reporting myself. I said you are a nerd. Select chat messages to report. So you can click on the message to include it. We're just gonna attempt to get banned live now. This is just showing off how it looks. So you can like select one of 4 messages. Okay, I feel like that isn't the best, but let's just say you are a nerd, and the category hate speech or harassment or bullying, and then you could type in, you know, he was mean. Now, of course, this isn't like gonna be a legit report, because obviously this is something that's more serious, and I think this is what we're going to talk about in the stream, of how in reality most of these things are actually supposed to be like serious. So if they get something like this where like you are a nerd and he was mean, they're actually not going to do anything about that. So I'm not actually going to send the report, because that would be probably actually get me banned, because they would say, hey, that's a dumb report. So if I wanted to get banned, I could, but I'm not going to do that. And also, here's the account. Ooh. Oh, look at this. Now, I want to go over a few videos, video clips from different content creators who I think share various views on this, and then I will just talk about my perspective and if I agree or disagree with their perspective, and hopefully that will be good. And I am drowning. I'm drowning. Okay, but anyways, we all saw how that works, you know, like someone says something, and then you can go in here into the game menu, play reporting, and then click. There's also P you can press for this. You can block players, normal stuff you could always do, but now it's really advanced with the reporting. You get to select up to 4 messages, it seems, and then you can go and select the category. And this is on 1.19.1, the official release. You get multiple categories: drugs or alcohol, imminent harm, defamation, harassment. You know, interesting. There are obviously some of these I don't agree with on here. Just to start off this conversation before I get into the video clips. Hello, Gnu, we good? Also, I think hopefully the stream is good. I don't know if it is. Hopefully it's fine. Let me know if anything's lagging or whatever. I'm not really looking at the metrics. I'm just looking with the chat and how the stream looks on OBS. So there's obviously some things here that are obvious, like yes, if someone's doing really bad things, like harming children, you don't want them in the game. You should want to report that. But there's things like drugs or alcohol that like at SouthHollow, we have a 420 reference where in SouthHollow the maximum player count is 420. So you know what I mean? Like if they're saying drugs or alcohol is there, technically SouthHollow, hopefully they're not gonna think that's bad because our player count is 420, making the reference to the date of April 20th. So this is, I guess, one of the areas where I don't really agree with it. Also, welcome to the chat, Stifler. I'm glad you're here. You have someone who's, I would say, professional, who is in the field of working with stuff like this. Drugs or alcohol, it's tough. It's tough because people should be able to talk about this. Maybe some people don't think kids should be able to talk about it, but there aren't always going to be kids in the scenario of the server. Some servers are adults only. Some servers are like, for friends only, stuff like that. Let's see. Are you open for discussion in the chat, or are you trying to focus on your own points? Totally good with the chat. I want people to be able to speak in the chat and hopefully, give out their opinions on points. And hopefully I'll be able to read the chat and be able to make sure everything is being said. But I'm not really going to read out like random messages, really, like, I don't know, just random messages that don't really have anything to do with the conversation, like saying I'm cool, I'm glad you're cool. But that's, I'm going to be focusing on stuff with the actual conversation. Easier for me to read. Yeah, GNOME Shell is lagging a little bit. I don't know why. I think it's not even all the stuff I've opened. It's just the window manager mutter is not vibing. Although I do wonder, am I freezing when that happens? I do wonder. Okay. Yeah, I guess Wordex, your lean comment does actually kind of make, this actually is part of the discussion because that is one of the jokes on SouthHollow, one of the last seasons. We had an item called lean, and obviously that's like some sort of, I wouldn't necessarily call it a drug, but like it's a thing. And that was like one of the jokes on the server. So, yeah, let's see. Make SouthHollow 13 plus. Yeah, it's not going to happen for that. Gabby Simon, welcome to the stream. Did you see that their definition of drugs and alcohol was specifically referring to encouraging minors to do illegal drugs and drinking? Not really just simply referring to it. Let's see. So, someone is encouraging players to partake in illegal drug-related activities or encouraging underage drinking. Okay. So I do wonder, like, again, if we were in-game and I handed someone a potion that said lean on it and I said, drink the lean. or like someone, had some other sort of thing, or alcohol, if I don't know, here's a Minecraft potion whiskey, if I said that in the chat, have some whiskey, I do wonder if that would be a problem. Because I guess that is encouraging someone, but like, is that encouraging someone to do it in real life? Or, does it account if it's in the game? That's kind of hard to know, And that's why I think if it's something like, oh, telling someone to drink in real life, maybe that could be more of a problem than if someone's doing it just in game. It's a bit vague. Let's see here. Gabby Simon, let's see. Can we talk about how many of these things can be taken out of context? That, says Soccer. Like, I played on a server where they have barrels full of alcohol and drinking, and it made you get nausea. Interesting. So that's not really relevant to you simply having a 420 reference, because you aren't encouraging illegal drug use. True. But I'm just wondering about the whole lean and other things. I know players have had like breweries, I think, in survival. I mean, not too many, but like I know that there's been that whole thing. They also mentioned role-playing servers that are allowed or are allowed and understood as existing, which I assume means the context they're looking at is about encouraging real life legally. Okay, good to know. But I really feel like they should have that here, because otherwise it's hard to know. Because someone might just not know that. Someone might think, oh, if somebody said, drink this whiskey, and they handed them a bottle in Minecraft, they might think, oh, I should report this now. Because it's just saying someone is encouraging others to partake in illegal drinking. I have beer in my server. Yeah, good clarification. I just wish they would have put it in the description. Because I know that's part of what's made this complicated is that information is spread out in so many different places that there's no one central area where people can really look up this information, or at least it doesn't feel like that. I haven't really been following it too well, but I do know that in general people have felt that Mojang has not done a good job of trying to get all the information out there at once and trying to make sure that they're clear. So I know they've made the multiple blog articles and stuff, and honestly I've tried to find those and they're really difficult to find because of how they have their article system set up. Or not very difficult, but annoying. Let's see here. The chat is going fast. Semi says, does that statement mean I can roleplay as a terrorist? Sifra said, yeah, that's a fair point. The vagueness could be cleared up. Yep. So he says, in the context of roleplay, isn't it promoting in real life? That is true. I mean, I know there has been a stream on SouthHollow where somebody was playing and it was a build on the build server and someone made a 9/11 joke. So, I don't know if they had said that in the chat or if it was in the stream, I don't remember, but I don't know if that would, let's see, let's read what that says. Is it encouraging? Someone is talking about, so if you're talking about terrorism or violent extremism, someone is talking about promoting or threatening to commit acts. Okay, so if you're talking about committing the act of terrorism or violent extreme for political, religious, ideological, or other reasons. Okay, so someone is talking about talking about it, they're promoting it, or they're threatening to commit the acts of terrorism or violent extremism for political, religious, ideological, or other reasons. Okay. So that would probably mean you really don't want to talk about terrorism at all in Minecraft or any, no, if you have the whatever that stream was, I think it was someone's base where they had a really tall tower, no 9/11 jokes, no, none of that. It seems, because it seems like it's not just saying if you are threatening to do an act or promoting it, it's if you are talking about it, is what I'm gauging from this. I could be misinterpreting it. So I want to see the chat here. So let's see. Why automatically assume the worst? Why would Mojang want to ban you? Yeah, I think that most of these changes are not actually necessarily Mojang, but more of a push from Microsoft. That's what I think. But, I don't know them, well or anything, so I really can't say for sure. But in terms of Microsoft wanting to make sure Minecraft is a platform where they can continue to make money from, and that they want as many people as possible on, I think they have to enforce that. Or feel like they need to enforce that. And that's why they've kind of pushed that down. But I do agree with you that I don't think Mojang wants to ban anyone, or even Microsoft. They don't want to ban people. Realistically, I think this is probably going to be used for actual problems, actual serious situations. But, from my understanding, they're not going to start looking at these reports until some sort of time after 1.19.1 comes out. So there will be some time until they actually start looking at the reports and taking action. So once that happens, we'll have to see, are they doing a good job? And, are they catching people who actually need to be banned from the games? Or there are some errors that could be made. So WordDuck says, the new chat reporting reminds me of SouthHollow, a chat filter. I mean, that's just SouthHollow. It's not for everything. I'd like you to explain that a bit more. I want to know what you mean by that, WordDuck. Okay, Gabby Simon. So looking at the defamation and impersonation category, how far does that go? Okay, let's see. I'll click on that. Where does Mojang stop? So defamation, impersonation, false information. Someone is damaging someone else's reputation, pretending to be someone they're not, or sharing false information with the aim to exploit or mislead others. Okay. Interesting. I know the chat's definitely going to go a bit fast. I know we're kind of hitting these topics at different points. I do want to make sure we take our time on each of these. But I'll kind of go with the chat a bit here. So it's damaging someone else's reputation. That makes me think of a plugin I made where I basically made it so like you can take someone else's skin. I don't really think that would be a problem though, but like you can't really do that for spoofing chat and being able to report that, so that wouldn't be a problem. Damaging someone else's reputation, so if you're lying about someone, maybe like I don't know, or false information. But the thing is, false information, that's difficult. Because obviously there's people who are saying stuff like, oh, COVID is not real, whatever, and stuff like that. Which that's, whatever you think of that, I think that's a bit ridiculous that, people are thinking that when people are dying. But, hey, maybe I could be misinformed. Maybe it is, whatever. I don't know. But I do wonder if someone were to say, like, oh, COVID isn't real, whatever, if that would count under this, under that false information category. I'm getting blown up here, but that's okay. And yeah, Soccer agrees that it was more of a Microsoft thing enforcing the terms of service. Interesting. So Sifford said, I read that as if someone is talking about committing acts of terrorism, not based on discussion of current events in general. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I just really wish they were more clear, because the vagueness is what really hurts this. So that's why I think it's really good that we're talking about this. So hopefully we can come up with ideas or interpretations of it, and then based on those interpretations, maybe, I doubt Mojang is going to watch any of this stream, but I hope that maybe we can come to a conclusion ourselves about what these different things mean. I'm just going to drown. If they ban unreasonably, that loses them money. Yeah. It definitely will. And their whole push is to make money, especially considering the Bedrock Edition, the marketplace, all their microtransactions. They want to make the platform clean, and they want to make sure that as many people are playing as possible so they can make as much money as possible. Minecraft is the only gigantic game that has nearly no report feature in its entire lifespan. It's actually crazy. That's true. Yeah, Minecraft is... I'm pretty sure it's actually the biggest game in the world. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure it is. I'm going to turn time. I'm not opt on here. That's okay. I'm just going to log off. Yeah, I think Minecraft's the biggest game in the world, actually, like in terms of some Wikipedia article I read a long time ago. So yeah, it is kind of crazy that there is no reporting system, but I think it just goes with how it was just started. It kind of went in a direction that people didn't really think, I guess, because it was more about, single player, and you just build blocks, and then maybe you join your friends, and then kind of just expanded crazily from there. Consider things like that we didn't expect, like the modding community to come in, and the whole issue with Bucket, and the whole licensing and stuff. There's so many things that have just happened in the Minecraft community that are interesting, and I guess people who were running the show didn't really think about it. Let's see. Atomiko says, something to think about. A lot of games have already had reporting systems and people haven't complained. It's legit just the fact that it's Minecraft where I think people are starting to care. Yeah, I think some of it is, it wasn't there before, so then once people see these changes are happening, then they view it as a big problem. Because, it's sort of the idea, why change something that's, fine? But I guess that isn't just fine, because there are good reasons to have it. Also, under many laws in many places, if you have no opinion to report, you can be held legally liable. That's true. But I think that, I think you mean by Minecraft. Like if Minecraft is operating, like they operate in a bunch of different countries. I think they even have like a China version that's censored. So they're fine with censoring stuff, which I think is interesting, but that's a topic for another time. But yeah, so they want to operate as many countries as possible because they want people to play the game. And that's fair. That's great. I think as many people as possible should be able to play Minecraft. It's a great game. But yeah, legally they have to abide by the laws of the countries. Because if they don't, they could get into trouble and they can't operate there. I just think it's interesting just the way the model has shifted because people are very used to the communities having the power. And I think that's part of the problem where people are thinking, well, if the community used to have the power, Mojang is now taking the power away from them. And that's something that I think is definitely a valid thing. It's shocking. It's like, oh no, I used to have control over my community. Definition specifically relating to lying with the intent to harm an individual. Lying itself is not defamation. Okay. Interesting. So yeah. So if you're actively trying to attack someone, by someone's character, I guess, by lying about them, the intent to harm the individuals. I'm guessing also means their likeness, or whatever it might be. Rowan says most other big games don't really have report systems anywhere near the level of this. CS:GO, for example, has no actual reports other than blatant hacking since it's a competitive shooter. And then Stifford said that's not true. In League of Legends, you can report people for non-severe stuff. That's interesting with CS:GO, because that's another game that's been around for a long time. I wonder, who controls CS:GO? I thought it's not Steam, is it? Because I think you can join friends through Steam or something. I don't know. I don't really play any CS:GO, so I'm not sure how that all works. But I do wonder who's in control of CS:GO, and then based upon that, how can you report people? Because if it's something where I know you can buy it through Steam, so if you report someone through Steam, because I think Steam has the same sort of system in place, but I could be wrong. Okay, let's see. Garth Noor, I think that's how you say the name. I'm very sorry if I'm butchering your username. Yeah, Garth Noor, I think that's how you say it. Says, at Rowan, most FPS games you never see players ever either versus Minecraft. You're kind of forced to deal with people if you want to play a specific server. It's impossible to be able to moderate. Yeah, CSGO is interesting. That's like round-based servers. I guess you could also somewhat say that for servers like Hypixel, where it's just so gigantic that you're really not going to see the same people. But obviously, not all Minecraft servers are like that. Rowan says, report doesn't really mean blanket-wide game bans. Plus, Minecraft costs money. Pretty sure League is free. And let's see. Okay, somebody said something that was removed. Sorry, I can't read that. But Stifford responded to him saying, send me right. Again, I'm not sure what was said. But they said most, so I'm referring to another MMO, or massive game. Sorry, not MMO. CSGO, which they referenced, isn't the only massive game. And then Rowan, CSGO moderation is handled way better. If you get reported and are toxic enough, you are muted in chat by default, but can be unmuted if players want to. Well, I'm interested, how many, where does CSGO operate? Or I guess, is it a global game? I think it is. I think people from around the globe play that. So I do wonder, why are they maybe not taking that as seriously as they could be? Why, or are they going to? If Minecraft's making a change, then, what's causing Minecraft to change, and will that affect CSGO as well? That's what I'm interested in. And don't worry, yeah, on mobile, all good. Don't worry about saying it wrong. Okay, good. Garth and Noor, again, I'm very sorry. Think of it this way. The federal government sets down laws, and states can make laws within those federal laws. Minecraft is in the Fed, in the case, and server such realms are in the states. They still have to be follow Fed. That's what TOS is, the Fed laws of a service. Yep. Also, CSGO, you can get banned from Valve's CSGO servers, but still play on public player-hosted servers. That's interesting. That's certainly a way of going about it. I mean, I think it's kind of interesting because when it comes to if someone were to do something like really bad, like where does that stop? Like, this is kind of a weird thing to bring up, but like think of something like the metaverse, where like think of like not just Minecraft, but all your games, but all your stuff being connected under one profile. If you were reported for that and then shut down there, you're losing access to everything. Even if it's something maybe you said in the moment, you were angry at someone and you made a very bad decision to lie about someone, to defame someone, you made a bad decision to make, to say just something really bad. That's what I kind of wonder about that. Because that is true where people, if you're banned on one thing, you could just move on to the next thing. But if you're all tied together, you're under one profile, how would that affect things? You lose access to a lot of things. Just another thing to throw in the mix, just an idea as I'm reading the chat here. So Josh says, Microsoft needs to understand that there are sometimes more mature servers in Minecraft. Yeah, there are. I think it's just, they need to have blanket policies that are in their TOS that have to be applied to everyone. They can't understand all context. And that's just a problem with how reporting is and works. You're never going to understand the full context, but at the same time, they have to be able to follow these laws and regulations to be able to operate. So, it's difficult. CSGO seems flawed then, says Atomicos, yeah. Garth Noor, I'm sorry, I feel so bad. The funny thing is, at Josh, is that Mojang allows for that by making it reporting optional, so you don't have to report people. No one on your server, F5 adult bubbles, should be reporting you, if at all. Yeah, I guess that's a good way to think about it. If you don't want to get banned, just play on servers that are hosted by your friends, or just a server that you are running, and it's just for you and your friends. That might just, if you want to be safe about it, safe. Obviously, I think if you're actually getting banned, you're actually doing something really bad. But let's say that wasn't the case, and it's the same thing with, I guess, privacy, where people are like, oh, I have nothing to hide, but obviously you want to be secure and private online. So if you just want to be safe in that regard of, there's always the weird potential something could happen, host your own server and only allow people you trust on the server. That might just be a good option. Let's see. So, Josh says, what if you're on PvP servers? They can just report and you will be banned. Again, I don't know, how can you report that? Obviously on PvP servers and even stuff like 2B2T, trash talking, really horrible stuff is in the chat constantly, but it's just kind of the expectation. Let's see, Jay Legends, Alec, hello, welcome to the chat. I don't like the thought of Microsoft deciding who can and cannot play multiplayer Minecraft. I do agree that it's a kind of a scary thought, but at the same time, they control the platform. So if you don't like that, switch to an open alternative. That's kind of the thing, or the thinking, where the Fediverse, if you guys know the Fediverse, it's a platform or a technology where instead of it being like Twitter, where like Twitter owns all the servers and hosts all the stuff, the Fediverse is distributed. So you can host your own Fediverse instance, and then it'll talk to the other instances. So you can't really be censored, you can't be taken down. I think that's really, it is cool, it's good. There's obviously disadvantages to that. And of course with the laws and stuff like that, could be a few issues there. But I think stuff like the Fediverse is important because, generally I think people are good about not deplatforming the wrong people. But at the same time, we know how cancel culture can be. We know about all that stuff. So I think having technology where people can have a platform that is their own is also really important. It's the same idea of you should have your own website. You shouldn't just have a social media profile that you link to, because you could be taken down at any time, and the companies are the ones who make the policies and the decisions. Even if maybe you don't agree with the decision, you can't really appeal that because you're using something that's by a company, a private entity. So stuff like the Fediverse, I think, is important technology to talk about in this instance. And there's other, I guess, alternative technology that you can use to not get censored. I guess that's part of the discussion here. But yeah, in terms of who cannot play Minecraft, it's unfortunate. That's just how it is because they own the platform. So maybe, if there's an open source version of Minecraft, I know there are different versions that are kind of like Minecraft that are open source coming out. Maybe those are things people might want to switch to if they feel like, I want to have my own instance and I don't want to be censored, and whatever that might be. They need to make chat reporting optional. Again, they can't. Legally, they can't. Let's see, Semi. Xi Jinping, I think that's how you say it, just bought Minecraft. New chat report rules says you cannot say anything negative about the Chinese party. That is interesting because, again, there is a Chinese version of Minecraft where I believe they are working with the Chinese Communist Party to censor stuff. So it's not the actual version of Minecraft, it's a whole different version. But I could be wrong. But it is unfortunate. Let's see. So Stifler says, if one of these SouthHollow players gets falsely banned SouthHollow, would you guys be willing to help them ban appeal with Mojang? Most likely, that would be the case. I just think that at least I would, but I know some other people who are running the show at SouthHollow would maybe not take the time to do that because they're quite busy, and everyone's really busy with SouthHollow. But it's if we could do that in a quick way, we totally would. I think. I can't speak for the other people, unfortunately. Garathnor. Okay, Garathnor. Okay. Mojang has a history of horrible appeal processes, so there is no point. And that is another thing on Bedrock. I know there's that whole thing. We'll get into that. Let's see. Stifler says, web host, Cloudflare, Google can block, delist, and remove websites. That is true. It's actually interesting. I think Russia's doing that right now. They're making their own, is it a CDN, I think? Where Russia's trying to disconnect. Oh no, it's something from the top level domains or something like that, where you type in a URL and it goes to a website. And Russia's trying to do something where they're disconnecting from that. It's something I read about a while ago. I don't know if that's still happening, but that's really interesting. Where, at least in Russia's case, they're deciding not to work together with the world anymore on that. Last I checked, I could be wrong, but yeah, it's really interesting. Where Google, Cloudflare, they could just remove those sites. But then again, Russia is already doing that right now, which I think is really interesting. At least the last time I checked about it. I could be wrong. I don't really have the source. If someone wants to say, hey, that's not how it is, or confirm it, let me know. That would be great. Really interesting. Because again, a lot of the web kind of depends on people working together on standards and stuff. And we're starting to see that fall apart a little bit. At least with the whole Russia thing, if that is still happening. I don't really know because of the whole war and everything. I don't know what's going on anymore over there. I remember hearing that if you get banned on Bedrock Xbox, you get banned from single player. I believe that actually is a thing. I've heard that too, but I do not know for sure. Bedrock kind of sucks because it is much more limited in that regard. If that is true, I know there are things where certain platforms where it runs, it doesn't let you have freedoms like on Xbox or PlayStation to use your own to download and upload, or to download worlds onto the console and then play them, or like resource packs and stuff. But I think that has to do with the whole consoles. The platforms they're operating on don't want that, so they aren't able to do that. And you can do that on the Windows 10 edition, I believe. But yeah, being banned from a single player is silly. I will be honest, because who you're gonna harm if it's single player. If you are saying bad things, you're in your own box. So I do think single player bans are silly and quite unfortunate. And also that your Realm subscription doesn't get canceled. I also think that's very unfortunate. I've heard that, and I'm pretty sure that is legit. So, yeah. Let's see. Semi, what do we think about the anti-chat reporting mods plugins? I think they're pretty rad. So, what I've heard, and there's a good... Actually, Stifler was on a podcast. This is where I heard about this. Where one of the developers or something like that of the chat reporting mod had previously distributed malware. I think that's the case. I don't want to say that is or isn't. I don't know if that's the case or not. But I've heard that. So that's why I'm cautious about that. I'm not going to run the chat reporting thing. If anything, I might see if it's open source. And then if it's not open source, maybe I'll have to see if someone wants to make an open source version of it. Because only then, if it's open source and you can compile your own version, that's when it would actually be safe. But that is definitely a problem, where obviously there's this sort of mass, I don't want to say, I guess, hysteria about it, but, I don't have another word for it, about this chat reporting, where people are going to kind of try to do anything to kind of get around it. So this would be the perfect time for someone to slip something in there and get malware on a ton of people's computers. So, I think that if the developer has had a history of that, you probably don't want to use that. If anything, maybe just try running Minecraft 1.18 that has none of the chat reporting stuff until maybe an open source version comes out. Again, I don't have enough information on that, so I really can't comment, but I just want to put that out there that I have heard that. So just really be careful with that. Also, hey Thaz, welcome to the stream. Garth Noor says, you are correct, there is a Chinese Minecraft, a separate launcher and servers and auth for everything. Still owned by Microsoft though. Yep. TikTok is punishing you for playing on their console. Did I say TikTok? Sorry, Microsoft. Is punishing you for playing on their console. It's kind of interesting. Bedrock's bad appeals for years, and they're known for not responding for weeks, if at all. I don't know all the information on that, but I have heard that, where they are not as responsive as they would like. I mean, they have millions of players playing on their platform, so, and I know tickets don't always go through, and I know for at least, is it the Minecraft forums, or there's some place where you can suggest features and stuff, and sometimes people will suggest features, and there'll be really good features important to the community. It'll be bumped up a lot, and Mojang will not respond and stuff like that. So I know it's sort of a dicey situation in the regard where it's like, are they really going to be responsive to what the community says, and are they going to be responsive to fixing issues that do come up, but there are false bans, and why are they doing things differently on Bedrock and Java? I mean, why is there no community sift on Java Edition? That's basically community sift is like the chat filter for Bedrock servers. I mean, of course, I think that's a whole paid thing. Obviously, it's good they don't have it, but like stuff like that where they have different requirements for the different versions, but I don't think they have a different terms of service for Java and Bedrock. So I kind of wonder, they're going about it in different ways. So is there a good reason for that? Is it because Bedrock is on the consoles, and the consoles typically have a stricter rule set than maybe if it's just a software application on a computer? I don't know. But yeah, I've heard they've had bad appeals, so man, I don't know. That's unfortunate. Atomic says Russia's also leaving the International Space Station. Yeah, Russia is really having a moment over there. I don't want to get too into those politics, but yeah, they're having a moment. It's Unfortunate. Rowan says, which is why I have no faith in Mojang's highly trained moderation team. Yeah, I have to agree that, again, this is a game that is so widely played. I find it hard to imagine that they will not make mistakes. So it's a tough situation. Let's see, Stiffer said, you're smart to be cautious and look for open source stuff if you really want to. Yeah. I don't know if I'm necessarily going to use any sort of mod, but if I am going to use it, I really want to make sure that it's going to be legit. I know there are people who are very set on using a mod like that, so I want to be able to provide something to them, that I know is going to be legit. When the whole 1.19 thing came out in the SouthHollow Discord, I know we had multiple people coming to us and asking about that and talking about it, so yeah, it's complex. If we rely on Microsoft, says Joshua, updating Minecraft, then we cannot rely on them choosing whether or not we can play online. But again, the thing is, it's their game at the end of the day, so they can just choose that. It's this interesting idea that the technology platforms that you use every day, you think you have control over it, but you don't. Like, to make it clear, big companies are behind with the platforms that you use. I mean, think of Google. You have your Gmail, you have your YouTube. You could be banned for anything, and that's okay. Google owns the platform, or Alphabet owns all their platforms, and Microsoft owns Minecraft and Xbox and everything. It's their platforms, they get to make the choice. But if you don't agree with that, then don't use their platforms. That's kind of the thing. Then it's the issue of there are no alternatives. And that is difficult. That's why I think that, I use Linux and open source software mainly because I want to make sure that, I'm staying private. I don't want, Microsoft and Windows to collect telemetry on me, and I don't want, with my Android phone, I can't uninstall Instagram. I'm not allowed to. Stupid stuff like that where I don't actually own my device, it's really silly. So that's why, I use Linux and stuff like that, and I'm someone who promotes open source software where, and Libre software, where if, you disagree with how the software is going, you could just create your own version of it and remove the stuff that you don't want. And also you can look in the source code to see exactly what's happening. Because I think that's, especially with something like this where it's that one developer making the malware, I mean, don't just run random mods. Don't run random software on your computer because you don't know what's in the mod if it's not open source. But you also have to think, okay, even if it is open source, the binaries that are being uploaded, or whatever it might be, they also might have the malware code in it, but not in the open source repository. So that's why I say if you really want to be, secure, make sure you're getting it from someone who's very trusted, a very trusted source, or at least make sure that the program or software you're trying to run is open source and that you download it from the repository and build the software yourself. And see if you can get someone to do an audit of the code. Is the code legit? It's important, and not just for Minecraft, but just I think in general, for just security of your computer and any tech device that you might use. Make sure that what you're installing and running is, legit. Okay. Let's see. In the chat, Gareth Noor says, I want to make a few things clear. You won't be banned from single player on Java if you get multiplayer ban, and there's no automatic reporting. It's all manual reporting done by players, and all bans are going to be manually confirmed before happening. These are the 3 false things I hear repeated the most. Good to know. But I really find it interesting, why are their policies different on Bedrock versus Java? Because I have heard, and I believe I've seen, people be banned from single player. It's not just this is a thing I heard. I'm pretty sure I've seen it. Or I think it's a thing that does happen. So I just really wonder, why are they enforcing that differently? I think that would make me feel a bit better if I knew, just so I would know in the future they're not going to bring that over to Java. Because if it's not clear why it's different, it's not the best to make the assumption, but like someone could make the assumption that, well, maybe in time they'll bring that enforcement over to Java too. So again, it's this whole thing of, I really wish Mojang was more clear about this and why they're enforcing it the way they are on Bedrock versus Java, and also more clear on what counts in their reporting, because it's not really clear as to the specifics of the things to report. Let's see. Rowan says you can't join LAN servers either if you have an online ban. Seems more of an oversight with how they handle bans by just graying out the multiplayer button. Yeah, not letting you use LAN is a bit silly. Just because it's like you're playing with people around you. I mean, I'm pretty sure if you were saying bad things to people around you, I mean, they'd probably not want to be your friend or wouldn't play in your server. So that's a bit silly. Let's see. Garth Noor says you're correct. The policies are different, and that does happen on Bedrock. I have no idea why. Bedrock is the real 1984 edition. Yeah, that's what people have been saying. I mean, even I've said that a little bit too, where like it's kind of that 1984 territory, but I don't want to go too far into that. But yeah, okay. I think we had a good discussion so far. I think I've showed off how the chat reporting worked, and again, just to make sure that I'll show it off the new people who are joining the stream. Let me just really quickly Kale 2000 and then Kale XMCB. Just make sure we're all in the same place. And then here we go. Hello. And then if you're to see the chat there, you can press P, click the report player button. You can select up to 4 messages. I find that interesting. I do think that there is obviously context that's lacking, but you know, it is how it is. You get to select 4 messages. You get to select the category, and you have a little button to learn more about it. And then you can type in up to 1,000 characters describing what happened. So this is the current report system for people who haven't seen it, who were just joining, because I had only seen it in screenshots. So it's really good to see how it actually looks in game. So there you go. Okay, so let's watch a few YouTube videos from other creators. Again, I want to show different clips. I don't really want to go through the entire video, but just different clips from various creators because I want to make sure that I get both sides in here. I don't want this to be me just showing clips of people being very negative about it. I want to make sure that people who are providing some points for it are also represented in the video clips. So, let's see. Stifford says it's not just the 4 messages that are sent. There's also surrounding messages around those 4 which are also sent to give context. Okay. So I guess the 4 that you select are just to say these are the ones you should look at the most, and they'll also get other context. But I wonder how much. Are they getting the full chat transcript? Are they getting it up until like the client sees the chat? Or how does that? How many messages are they actually getting? I do wonder. Like, is it from the server boot time? Because it just looks like it's taking 4 messages. But it is good to have context. But it is kind of confusing that isn't. Is it shown? Let's see. Messages surrounding selection will be included to provide additional context. Okay, good. So yeah, it does say that. I just wonder how many. Okay. Yeah, that's exactly right. They're getting, I believe, 10 surrounding messages. Okay. And then Rowan says, my concern is that in the long term, years out, they will probably replace human mods with computer moderation. Yeah. I mean, we see that happens a lot already. At least from my understanding of different platforms, like for at least example, like YouTube, they use AI for like video clips. So we see all kinds of stories of different YouTube creators with fair use. So this stream is actually probably gonna get taken down just because I'm using clips from other people. So hopefully that won't happen, but who knows. but how YouTube's content ID system, there's just so many things, and even reporting people, like people have used the DMCA system to silence other creators. And so, people will do a report and say, hey, can a human read this? And Google will say, yeah, humans reviewed it and be denied your request, even though it's, sent like 1 minute ago. Not all cases, that does not happen in all cases, but I know that's been a thing that has happened. So the whole automation of reports, that could happen. Mojang said they're not going to do that, I believe. But, if the influx is too much, I don't know. I do feel like they have a very finite amount of people who are actually working at Mojang. And I say that because, they want to make sure the people they get are quality. But it's also kind of difficult because they might not have enough people to go through all the stuff, or at least go through these reports in a timely fashion. I mean, imagine reporting someone for, abusing someone, abusing a minor or something like that, and they aren't banned for like a month. I mean, that would be unfortunate. If that kind of goes on, they're not banned quickly, if it is a serious situation like that. So, and I just say that just because thinking about the whole 1.19 thing, they could have released it if they had like thousands and thousands and thousands of people maybe, but I don't think they necessarily do. They just have really high quality people who know the game inside out, know the community, and that's, it took a bit longer to get 1.19 out, but it came out and it was pretty good. Or decent, I don't know. It's or 1.18 or 1.17 or whatever, I don't know. The wild update, or I don't know what it's called. Just the whole string of updates since 1.17, I guess at this point. Garth Norris says, them getting chat from server boot time would be insane on some of the bigger servers, lol. Yep. Did you see the new article Mojang released an hour ago, Martin? I did not see that. They released an article an hour ago? Let's see. Feel free to drop it in the chat. Let's see here. Is it this? The mild update. Haha, funny. I don't know. This is the official blog post I was looking at a little bit. Let's see. So with Mojang's official wording, it is now possible to report a player for sending abusive messages in the game chat. Reporters are required to select individual messages that contain objectionable content, as well as the category of the report. This is to provide the best context for a moderation team to take action. Okay. Let's see. So article about player reporting and other stuff. Okay. I'll probably look at the article in a second. Or to see if I can find it. There isn't a website. I really don't like their website. If you go to NUS article, it just lands you here. Like you cannot. Where do you go? Their website is terrible. I really don't like it. Okay, news. Is this where you go for it? Like, this isn't the news I want. I don't want SpongeBob Build Challenge. I want 1.19. Like, their website. Oh my goodness, it is so infuriating. At least for me. But that's side comment. News, please. I want, like, the game news. Discussion and help, maybe? Changelog. Here we go. Maybe. Knowledge base, is this it? Yeah, feel free to send that link in the chat, please. Just so I can see this here. Their website is not the easiest to navigate around. Yeah, okay. Website, community, and events. Not there. I DM'd you. Thank you. Let me open up Discord. Actually, oh, that's not. Show Discord. Hey, yeah, I did, because I don't see it on my side. Let's see. GNOME is having a moment where it's lagging. I don't know what a shell is like that. It's kind of strange. But okay, let's see. Gotta wait for it to catch up here. Here we go. Here is the link. Thank you. And I'm gonna go over here to put that in. Okay. Our commitment to player safety. Okay. So the whole article here, we hold ourselves accountable for making Minecraft as safe as possible for everyone. Good. It brings millions of players together from all over the world, all united by the goal of crafting, exploring, and having fun. That's why it's important that our games are a safe and welcoming place for all players. Okay. Is there any specific area that I should be looking at here? Yep. Our safety approach. Okay, this is interesting. We take a holistic approach to player safety, combining the best available tools and processes with a highly trained and dedicated team of passionate people that work every day to celebrate and protect our community's creativity and passion while ensuring interactions remain safe. Human reporting. Okay. Let's see. Human approaches. We believe player safety is an area that benefits the industry and larger gaming community. That's why we are committed to partnering with our friends at Xbox Game Studios, our community, organizations, and researchers in the space of player safety, regulators, and law enforcement. Okay, cool. Player abuse reporting. The goal of having effective and intuitive player reporting mechanisms in our games is to empower the community to let us know when harmful behavior is taking place and getting in the way of the fun and intended experiences in Minecraft. Okay. Oh yeah, it's good to see that they're hopefully working with good people on this, and it seems like if they're taking an actual human approach, they'll stay committed to that. I'm just worried that they might not have the final say, or at least Mojang might not have the final say in some things. We'll have to see. Just because, Mojang can pressure Mojang. I do think that Mojang is, for the most part, pretty split from Microsoft. Like, they're not influenced by them as much as they could be, which is good. But for certain things that Mojang might not want, Microsoft could force them to take approaches they don't want. So that is of concern, but I think in general, hopefully it will be okay. Yeah. I mean, it's a tough thing online when it comes to regulating stuff. When I think about this, I think of the online space kind of like real life. I mean, maybe that should be the way I look at it, but if someone were to say something really bad in real life, and they were in, let's say, someone's house, you could say, okay, get out of my house. Is there a space for that person to be able to say things in their own time, in their own space? And that would be if they had their own house. But at the same time, not necessarily, because their own house is going to be, they still have to follow the laws of where they live, so the country that they live in. Unless they live in like a nomad land, I don't know if that's the right term for that, but there are places around the globe, I believe, that don't really have any strict laws. So that's kind of how I view it, where, if you're going and playing Minecraft, you're visiting Mojang's house, so you do have to abide by their rules. And if you don't want to do that, you want to make your own rules, then you have to go to your own house. And if you don't want to abide by the rules of your country, where your house is, then you find somewhere there is no, country of rules, which is something that is hard to find. Okay, so Rowan says, Mojang also said on Reddit, that they will take every single thing considered a threat serious. There's going to be a pretty decent amount of players falsely banned for edgy jokes out of context. Yep. This is another concern where they have to take things seriously. As much as we want to think that if someone were to say like an edgy joke that is obviously ooh, it's pushing it, they have limited context. They're not going to know if you're joking or not. So they have to make that decision. They have to assume that what you're saying is a threat. They have to. So, I don't want it to be thought of that they're your friend from down the street who's actually going to be able to have all the context and be able to to be like, okay, I know it's him. He's really edgy. He's just joking. No, they have to just assume the worst, which is a bit unfortunate, but like, what else are you gonna do? You know? Let's see here. Thaz, what I don't like about the chat reporting is that, yeah, it makes the platform safer, but at the cost of other communities like anarchy servers. MC servers have been self-moderating for years. Why not just let them continue to enforce their own rules? Again, from my understanding, it's laws going in place and pressures from all around. From the gaming industry, from online, we see this happening right now where there is an active push to make online spaces safer for everybody. And, you know, obviously I was around the internet 2015, 2017, when it was a lot more edgy. Fun times, but is that really the best for society? Is that really the best for whatever? I don't know. You know? I can't say. I don't know at this point. Sifford responded, Fazar. My company did a case study on a few Minecraft servers and found a lot of instances where player chat harms aren't caught by moderators. Rowan says chat harms were the scale of the study. If you want to DM me that study, I'll pull it up on, let's see. Maybe I can find it. Is it the ADL? I think this is it. From GamerSafer. There, Discord. So Stifford says, players who are harmed without the mods doing something about it are likely to leave. 28% of players that experience harassment in games leave them entirely. Nearly 1.5 million chats are reviewed. Thank you for sending me that. Okay, glad I have the right thing. Let's see. Garth Noor says, Thazar, what exactly are we losing if the anarchist theories are gone? Okay, Rowan. Say you have a server that has a community of edgy jokes or more mature humor. Then an outsider of the community finds the server and reports them for it. Again, turn on the whitelist. If you don't want an outsider to turn on the whitelist. Although something I do find interesting is if Mojang is complying with rules or with these local laws, we see how local laws and legislature can go in a very negative direction. You know, whatever you might think of the whole Roe versus Wade situation, you know, I personally view it as rights of women are being taken away, and I don't think that's good. You know, so things like that where people who really want to push their own agenda and they, you know, that's just going to be the way it is. More interestingly, I'm thinking in the context of that one Minecraft server where people can log onto Minecraft and it's this big library of not hidden knowledge, but of like free press. It's some sort of Minecraft server. I don't remember exactly what it was, but basically it's people who were in countries who were press information can go on the server and talk about it and share information. So I do wonder, you know, in that context, is Mojang going to have to crack down on that? If they feel like, okay, we need to respect local laws more, are they going to say, hey, sorry, server, we're going to not let players connect if you're in this country because we know you're giving out this information where we're getting pressured from local law enforcement and legislature about it. So another thing I guess to think about. But I want to look at the case study. But before we do that, I just want to read the chat here to make sure I'm not getting too far out. With Core Inspect, you can pretty much catch anything that is reported. That's true. But again, I think it's very fair to say that no matter what moderation team you have, not all mods are going to do a good job. That's just how it is. And even at SouthHollow, we could do better. We are not the best at things. I mean, I would say at least some of us have certain ways of doing things. I mean, I know I've actually falsely banned people before for things that I thought were hate speech, but really it was actually a whole different scenario or whatever. So it's complicated. So moderators get it wrong. But I think it's fair to say that moderators are going to get it wrong on Minecraft servers, and they're also going to miss things. And that's also likely going to continue on the Minecraft side as well for chat reporting, where they're going to miss things or they're going to misinterpret things. And also people might just not report people. I mean, people seem pretty against it. They might just say, okay, I think this person is bad, they're doing something bad, but I don't want to report them. I want to go to the administration team of the server and have them deal with it. So I think, honestly, you know, the things that are missed are going to continue to be missed no matter what. But maybe it could be a bit better with this reporting. Maybe it might be worse. I'm not sure. I think it really comes down to, I really want to see another report. I really want to see another report where after this starts being enforced. Because I do want to see, you know, what are things of hate in this report, and would do the things that this report says is hateful, do they align with what Minecraft is saying is hateful? You know, stuff like that. I think that's really interesting. But yeah, after this update comes out and they start to enforce it, I really hope they make another one of these, just so we can see how that changed things. Anyways, let's continue here. Yeah, Core Protect, not really, unfortunately. Rowan says, laws are just excuses to implement us horrible systems. If they truly needed a moderation system to be legally hosted, they could have done it completely differently like other games. Okay, but you could say it's a horrible excuse, but like, again, they have to comply if they want to operate in these countries. So, I mean, they could just not, and then risk being sued and then banned and then what, you know, all this other stuff that's not going to be helpful. How is a whitelist a solution? I'm just saying, it's out there. Wouldn't need to be that way for a Minecraft server. It's an open community and that's how it should be. Well, if you can't trust people to not report you, then no. Then you don't trust the community. So it sounds like you don't want to be in an open community, because people who you might disagree with, who might use the feature that you don't want to use the feature, then use the feature, they are going to use it. So it would be in your interest to not be in an open community in that regard. Garth and Nor, I know Anarchy servers aren't the best places, but half of the time people are still having fun. I gotta boost up the thing here. I think I've been staring at screens for too long today, so my eyes are like, oof. Okay, let's see. So yeah, Faz says, Garth Nor, I know Anarchy servers aren't the best places, but half of the time people are still having fun. So the accomplishments on Anarchy servers are pretty insane. They're reasonable people. Yeah, FinMC. It's kind of funny. I've seen those videos. They're kind of funny. Just about like this whole grandiose, and this player, they had it. So we are tracking every single server on or every single player on the server. We rebuilt the whole game or something. It's crazy what people are doing. At least on those servers. Let's see here. I think people, says Garth Nor, I think people could accomplish amazing things and not be toxic booties about it at the same time. Yep. No, I didn't. Okay. I'm seeing this in the corner here where it says something like that. But, okay, I think we're fine. Let me know if I cut out. No, I know I'm very behind with the chat, so that could be a problem. Is the chat still showing, by the way? I really hope that it is. It should be on the side here, but if it's not, let me know. Okay. Let's see. So I ran an Anarchy server once. Not sure if MCB remembers it. I do remember. And a ton of people hate me for not allowing racism. Ooh. Honestly, I think that that's most likely what will happen. Most people won't report each other. It's not even super easy to get to or remember. Garth Noor says, I would love for Mojang to release ban reports after the fact with like reasons and contacts, put toxic people on blast lol instead of raging. Yeah, that's the thing though. We on SouthHollow used to have on the southhollow.net website, southhollow.net, we used to have a ban report. By the way, SouthHollow is my Minecraft server. for context, or co-owned server. But yeah, we used to have an infractions page, and it would publicly be listing that stuff out. They can't list that out because I think that would be a invasion of privacy. They're not allowed to do that, I'm pretty sure. Or there's something with that where it just would not reflect good on them. And then we removed that just because, I don't know, we just decided, But, you know, and people complained or whatever, I don't know. And we just removed it. I mean, I don't control the website. But yeah. I just don't think they could do that. But I would like that because it would be helpful. Like name MC. Name MC, where if you were to look up RexText 3000, I would like to see RexText 3000 has been banned for this reason, or at least maybe has a history of the player, so I could know. And this would be amazing if a player logs in and then Minecraft is able to say, hey, there is this issue with this player because they've been reported for XYZ. Now we'll say this kind of does exist to a degree because of GamerSafer. You know, that's a thing. I'm not gonna get too much into that, but like that is a third-party solution that does exist that kind of does that. But if that was like built into Minecraft, you know, something like that would be pretty good, where it just says, okay, this person has been banned before, yada yada. And I know I'm very behind with the chat. I hear my DMs going off. I know I'm kind of behind here, so hopefully I can. Let's see. Okay. They would have to comply, says Rowan, but so does everyone else, and nobody else has a system this bad. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. So he says, I think the system is unbearably in your face. And then Stifler's just asking why Rowan thinks it's so bad. And then Rowan says, the fact that it's clearly targeting towards servers who want to have a more mature theme and jokes in chat in general. And then Thaz, bring infractions back. I wish I could stay, bro, but I have to pick up Leah. Well done tonight. Thanks for trying to keep it neutral. Thank you. Glad that you were here. Really appreciate all your commentary. You know, as someone who's in the industry and knows, you know, more about this, is able to interpret it better. Yeah, so maybe we might just do a part 2 to this. I don't want this to like go on for too long. Let's see how long we've been streaming for. Okay, 45 minutes. Actually, not that bad. I don't want it to go on for too long. I also maybe don't want to be copyright strike for playing particular clips from content creators. So I think what I might do is I might just do like a part 2 to the stream, and then with that part 2, what I'll do is I'll get the clips so I don't have to play extra parts, so I can actually properly do commentary on the points that I want to bring up, or different points that are brought up in these videos. So let me know if you want me to see that, if you want me to wait. I think a second stream might make the most sense, just because doing it all in one night, But yeah, anyways, SouthHollow TNT are releasing tomorrow. That's true. Should be listed for the server that the person was banned on. Yeah, although again, what if you were banned on a personal server that has someone's personal IP address they're hosting? That wouldn't be good. Then you just leak someone's IP, you know, if someone's hosting it from their machine. So yeah, I think this is a good conversation. I'm really glad we got lots of stuff covered here. I'm glad we had a good conversation about it. Again, I just think that I don't want to go for too long. I want to make sure that this doesn't drag out forever. So I think in the next stream, what I'll do is I'll play those clips and we can respond. But let's see. Garth Norris says, everyone keeps saying Mojang system is bad, but how many have you been banned from a server for no reason? At least Mojang system gives actual evidence. But a misunderstood release this soccer. Yeah. But anyways, yeah. Good articles here. I think I'm gonna put the case study in the chat. So if you want to check that out, there you go. Yeah. Let's continue the discussion another time if y'all are okay with that. I just think I don't want to go for too long. My voice is kind of going. I don't know if you can hear that. Yeah, thank you so much for joining, everybody. I really appreciate it, because obviously this is a pretty important topic. So hopefully I was able to read all your messages and hopefully I was able to, you know, give a response, and hopefully my opinion, you know, is at least somewhat well thought out. And like I said, I really appreciate everyone coming out to voice their opinions, because, you know, the whole point of this stream is so I can, you know, say my points, but also so I can get feedback from you guys. What do you think? I did mention SouthHollow in the announcement, so I do want to quickly mention that. For now, I don't know enough about the kind of technology behind it, like how Spigot is going to implement, then how Paper is going to implement on top of that, and then how Purpur is going to implement on top of that. So I don't actually know if like we can do chat reporting right now, because we use custom plugins to like change the way the chat looks and stuff. So for the moment, SouthHollow is not going to support chat reporting on 1.19.1, but as things begin to roll out and stuff like that, we're going to continue to see. We did have a meeting, full staff team meeting, and it was completely voted against. But maybe if this, this stream could be shared around in the next meeting, we could see if that changed. So yeah, Stifler does a lot of research, so I'm glad to have a professional here. Murdoch says, when is part 2 of the stream? Maybe I could do it tomorrow. We'll see. Just not to like plug the Discord, but like, hey, join the Discord, and I'll drop an announcement. Hopefully, it won't be as sporadic as this one. I know I kind of just gave like only a really short amount of warning. I'll put the Discord link in there if you do want to join, and I will just ping everyone when I do that next stream. But yeah, thank you for joining. We had a good conversation, and next time I will see if I can prepare clips, and that'll be that. Yeah, thank you for watching, and I will see you later. Peace out. Ooh.